Hey everybody, this is Marcus. Nicolas Cage explains why you won't see him in the MCU. And of course, we all know who Nicolas Cage is. He's a well-known actor. His body of work speaks for itself. His breakout role was in Valley Girl in 1983, and then he will go on to play other films years later, such as The Con Man, The Rock, and then he would also play in various superhero films like Ghost Rider, which came out in 2007. And then he will go on to play the sequel, Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance. And then he will play Spider-Man Noir in Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse as well, though. So he's been in several superhero films, especially Marvel-related as well, though. And not to mention, of course, there were talks about him working with Tim Burton to play Superman during the time of the heyday of Batman and Batman Returns. So I'm going to get into all this and more, so we'll definitely get right into it. So Parade.com actually wrote an article about why Nicolas Cage isn't going to come back to the MCU anytime soon. So we're going to go ahead and get right into that. Before I get started, thank you guys so much for your support. It really means a lot to me, and you guys mean so much to me. And for those who are new to my channel, can you do me a solid? Make sure you like this video, share this video, subscribe to my channel, and make sure you hit that bell to enable notifications whenever I drop a video. And we're going to always keep this thing rolling, you guys. So let's do this. We're going to check out what Mr. Cage said in Parade.com. And also we'll talk about the Superman movie too that he was initially going to do. So let's check this out. So Nicolas Cage, well, and I quote, Nicolas Cage may sound like a natural-born superhero name, but the actor says he has no plans to join the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the MCU. Cage, 59, confirmed his refusal to join the MCU while making a speech on Sunday night in Florida. Quote, "I don't need to be in the MCU. I'm Nic Cage. I'm Nic Cage." That's what, reading his voice, though. He told the crowd while accepting the Variety Legend and Groundbreaker Award at Miami Film Festival. "I've got to be nice about Marvel movies, because I named myself after a Stan Lee character named Luke Cage. What am I gonna do? Put Marvel movies down? Stan Lee is my surrealistic father. He named me." That's my voice, my Nic Cage voice. I had to do it though. Continuing, "I understand what the frustration is. I get it. But I think there's plenty of room for everybody. I'm seeing movies like Tar. I'm seeing all kinds of artistic, independently driven movies. I think there's plenty of room for everybody." Cage shared, adding that he'd rather take part in a horror or drama. Quote, "My personal favorite is independently spirited family drama. I like movies that take place at home, like the struggles we have at home, and how we're trying to either succeed and become better people or succumb to the pressures of the human experience. My other favorite genre, I would say, would be horror. Some of the most talented artistic people now are making horror films. I think you can do so much. The reason why science fiction and horror is so important to me is that it gave me a format where I could express some of my more surrealistic and abstract dreams with film performance." I had to do his accent. That's exactly how he talks, though. But Cage also believes science fiction movies allows creative freedom other genres don't. Everybody's very sensitive right now. If you look at the science fiction format, you put it on a different planet, you put it in the future, what have you. You can pretty much say what you want because it's not right now. Oh, I didn't mean that. It was on a planet called EXCELSIOR or something. That's where it happened. I didn't mean that. You can get your freedom speech mojo on and do what you want. While Cage isn't completely opposed to working on superhero films, and he's literally credited as the voice of Superman in Teen Titans Go to the movies, if his past experience is any clue, they don't always work out as expected, as the projects can be more challenging to produce and sell. Recalling a time in the 90s when he was set to take on the titular role in Tim Burton's Superman Lives, Cage explains that he was looking forward to portraying the role of an emo Superman. Wow. "It was more of a 1980s Superman with well, in his voice again. It was more of a 1980s Superman with the samurai black long hair. I thought it was gonna be a really different sort of emo Superman, but we never got there. They wanted Rennie Harlin to do the movie. I sat down with Rennie. I was doing another picture. He came to the trailer and we talked. I liked Rennie. but I thought if I'm going to do this, it's such a bullseye to hit. I said, has to be Tim Burton. I called Tim and said, will you do this? Tim didn't cast me. I cast Tim. And Tim said yes. I loved what he did with Michael Keaton, or Michael, and Batman. And I was a big fan. I love Mars Attacks. I thought Mars Attacks was just a fantastic, groundbreaking movie. He's a groundbreaker. But they were scared of the studio because of Mars Attacks. Warner Brothers had lost a lot of money on the movie. These movies that are really weird, that challenge and break ground, they pissed a lot of people off. I think they got cold feet. They spent a lot of money already building the sets and costume and what have you. But you never know. I don't mean to be Cryptic Cage, but you never know. Unless Warner Brothers or Burton decides to address Cage's recent comments aimed at the decades-old drama, the world may never know why viewers didn't get to see him as Superman when we had the chance. Now, I've read about this a while back, and I had this discussion with one of my friends and a random person, especially the comic strip as well. But I had a conversation where we discussed about Nicolas Cage being cast to play Superman. I think, especially being done under Tim Burton, it definitely would have been amazing for that particular time, especially the way superhero films were going for that particular time anyway. Because if you think about it like this, like, we really didn't get a chance to see superheroes in the live action spectrum, more than likely until, like, I would say, maybe more so, we have some in the TV series though, but live action format, we didn't actually see them until the 1970s, and that was the first Superman movie with Christopher Reeves. That was pretty much it though. But as far as television goes, Marvel Comics was actually on the roll of doing their TV spots such as Spider-Man and The Incredible Hulk with Luke Ferrigno and Bill Bixby at the time. But the movies were just in its early infancies. Like, you think about the fact that back then, how technology was so limited, like, you really couldn't cap off how everything was going though. That didn't start until the 80s though. The 1980s basically changed the whole game, especially the way how superheroes were performed. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, if there's any earlier superhero movies that I don't know about, you guys let me know in the comments down below, especially newcomers who are on my channel. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below for sure, as far as like if there are any other superhero adaptations from like the earlier years, like the 1930s, 40s, whatever, besides Batman, Superman. Just let me know. And just, I wouldn't mind being corrected either though, so. But yeah, basically starting off with Batman, Tim Burton was the one that did it. And I thought Tim Burton's Batman was actually amazing. But yeah, Warner Brothers did have complaints from various people how some of Tim's films were too violent, because Tim also did Beetlejuice as well. And Michael Keaton actually started in that. And they were complaining about how some of the films were too violent. And so Warner Brothers had to pretty much like pull the PG version just to appease some of the people, especially parents with kids and everything. Now, I will say this though, Batman Returns was actually really good too, but as much as I definitely like Danny DeVito's take on the Penguin, I think some of them probably felt more disgusted by how the Penguin actually was portrayed, because the fact that the Penguin is actually an aristocrat. He's not a mutant freak at all. He has a big nose for sure, and he laughs like ha 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 like that. But the Penguin is more of an aristocrat, and he actually owns a club in Gotham, compared to how he was portrayed in Batman Returns, him being like a freak or whatever. But the thing is, I can see it from their point of view how the films can be a little bit violent. But I think that if there wasn't any complaints previously, Nicolas Cage would have been a pretty good Superman. An emo Superman. Because imagine an emo Clark Kent, you know. Clark Kent, when you think about Clark Kent or Smallville, basically he looks like an average football player. You know, you would think guys like Stetson Bennett, for example, who was the quarterback for UGA. That's who I think what Superman actually would look like, or what Clark Kent would look like. Like, basically someone who's basically like a jock. Well, not someone who's basically an emo. Like someone who's basically into golf and stuff like that. But it definitely would have been an interesting take, though. Especially what Nicolas Cage is doing, though. But him not being in the MCU for right now, I can pretty much see that, because now you got the runnings going around right now. everybody wants to see Keanu Reeves in the MCU, whether he comes in as Ghost Rider or he comes in as the Beyonder for Secret Wars, which that would be so cool if Keanu does come. So hopefully the petition, especially that we talked about and that I've written about, will definitely come to where we actually do see Keanu as the Beyonder. But if we get another actor to show up, that'd be cool too. But just the fact that we actually have artwork of Keanu as both Ghost Rider and the Beyonder, that says a lot. And it definitely talks about how the fans are expressing their interest to have Keanu Reeves in the MCU for sure, though. So, but like I said, if Nicolas Cage does come back, I can see him probably playing maybe a veteran Johnny Blaze or someone like an older version of Johnny Blaze. That would be pretty cool. I'll be up for that. But like I said, he's a talented actor and he's got other projects going on right now. So whether he comes back to the MCU, I mean, it's up to him. He was friends with Stan Lee, too, and they practically knew each other. It's like I just read, he basically considers Stan Lee to be his surrealistic father. So they were very close, too. So he's obviously a comic book fan, but he obviously wants to explore other genres besides the comic realm, and that's okay, But now you think about it like this, though, superhero films these days are basically taking over cinema and everything, so I can pretty much see his point of view, but obviously he's very flexible if anybody wanting to play Johnny Blaze. So obviously he wants to do something else besides being in Marvel roles. He wants to explore other avenues. So I'm sure if he wants to do more voiceovers, that'll be fine too. And ironically speaking, considering that he was talking about Superman, he voiced Superman in Teen Titans Go as well, though. So, but anyway, I'm actually curious to see what would have happened if Superman Lives actually did come to fruition, with Nicolas Cage being the star actor for sure, though. So, but it's one of those what if, pun intended, situations. But what do you guys think, guys? You guys think that Nicolas Cage should come back to the MCU regardless? Let me know in the comments down below. I'll put the Parade magazine in the bottom of the description for you guys to check out. And thank you guys so much for your support. It really means a lot to me, and I love y'all. Make sure you guys subscribe to my channel for more updates and more news material. I love y'all. Thank y'all so much. You guys mean a lot to me. Thank you so much for supporting me. Make sure you guys continue to love each other, and I always do my part to be an inspiration myself. So thank you guys so much for the feedback. It means a lot to me. I love y'all. Excelsior. And I'll catch you guys in the next one.